Good evening and welcome.
Your Saturday night starts right here.
For over half a century, we've tuned in to see stars being born before our eyes.
Britain has always been a country where people fancy their chances with a talent.
You've become the winner of Britain's Got Talent. What do you want to say to them?
You've changed my life.
In this series, we're finding out what the talent show really means to the viewers and stars alike.
It's the X Factor judges.
When that screen opens on a Saturday night, my heart is pumping out of my chest. It is so nerve-wracking.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the talent show story. Tonight on the Talent Show Story, we look back at the series that first gave viewers the chance to create stars. And I mean that most sincerely, folks.
Opportunity knocks.
And we tell the story of its controversial host, Hughie Green.
He was the godfather of talent shows.
For God's sake, Britain, wake up!
And if that didn't wake you up, this will. We'll be celebrating the talent show's most unlikely stars.
I think Jedward will be remembered for crazy hair, crazy performances, crazy everything.
I mean, what the hell has happened to this show?
But we start with a look at the changing face of the talent show presenter. It's fair to say that over the years, the sets have become more sophisticated.
Hello, Wembley.
The acts have evolved. And the prizes have got much bigger.
Oh, you lucky fuck.
But one person has always been at the helm, the host.
Here's your host, Hughie Green's love child, Jonathan Ross.
Yes, many of TV's greats have fancied their chances as a talent show presenter.
Good evening and welcome.
Welcome to the Big Talent Show.
Your votes and your votes alone make the winner.
But the task of hosting a modern-day extravaganza like Britain's Got Talent or The X Factor is now amongst the most demanding on television, dealing with moments of controversy,
Now station.
George, watch him now.
tears, and the odd tantrum.
So just you button it.
Hang on.
These days, a talent show host has got to do so much more than just stand in a studio and read an auto cue. They have to do so much more because the talent show itself has got so many more different elements to it. Anything can happen.
Dog chaos back here. Dog chaos.
We love doing Britain's Got Talent because you just don't know what's coming next. There was a dog act where they set fire to the rings and the dogs had to jump through. I don't know how much petrol they used, too much. And they wouldn't go out, and then the smoke alarms went off backstage. It's not going out! No one could put these out, so I ended up grabbing a fire extinguisher and going on and putting them out.
Got this one?
Yes, please. We're actually choking here.
If it's all going horribly wrong and you're thinking, oh God, Ant and Dec are the ones that are going to save the situation because their comic timing is impeccable.
Next week, we'll try and organise getting drunk in a brewery.
That's why they're the top guys in the business.
Yes, it was our favourite Geordie duo who reinvented the role of talent show host as presenters of Pop Idol 10 long years ago.
Hello and welcome to Pop Idol, the show that's on a mission to find the nation's next musical megastar.
Before then, the presenter's job had changed very little since the 50s, but as we entered the age of reality TV, all that was about to change.
When we got asked to host the show, we knew we'd be doing the typical host's job, especially when it came to the live shows. What we didn't anticipate, though, was how much we'd get involved and how much we'd be on the side of the contestants. Nigel Lythgoe had come down to the auditions. We weren't meant to be at the auditions. He said, come down to the auditions and watch some of the acts. Some of them are awful.
Now and then, I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed.
We wanted to get their reactions from the minute that the auditionee walked out of that room. We wanted a camera in their face. How did they feel? What's going on?
You're right. We felt so sorry for these kids getting up there singing and then getting slaughtered by Simon and the rest of the panel.
Well done.
All right. They'd walk out the door and we'd end up giving them a hug, and Nigel saw it and saw how we reacted with them and then said, right, clear your diary, you're in every day. This is part of the show now.
Anyone who does this does not deserve to be treated like that.
But now every talent show's got that element, so good for us. We kind of started it.
Since then, the role of presenting a talent show has become an altogether more emotional experience.
I think the best hosts of these shows are people who feel an empathy with the acts, a real empathy. Whether they're good or bad, they're like a protective blanket, the arm round the shoulder, the consoling arm, the empathetic arm.
They have to go on the journey with the contestants from day one. They're at the audition. They're helping them. They're hugging them. It's a very emotional thing for them to do.
You do get emotionally involved. No, you know, that's good, I think. I think that, you know, you shouldn't be working on the show if you're not a people person. You've got to be there for them when it all gets difficult.
I know this is going to be hard for you. We've got a lot of people want to know how you're feeling right now.
Dermot is fantastic. The amount of people that would cry on him, I was one of them. He was so understanding.
Please welcome your host, Dermot O'Leary.
Dermot O'Leary has become a viewer's favourite since taking over as X Factor host.
I think Dermot is an amazing host. I mean, this is an amazing show, but he runs it like clockwork.
Welcome to the X Factor, we are live.
He's an enthusiast. I mean, he loves the show. And you can tell that. You know, he does that twirl at the beginning of the show. I mean, he does that because he's having fun.
Your final starts right here.
I think no one wants to see a Saturday night show with someone coming out and going, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You want a bit of a laugh. All the dancing, I don't take that seriously. And sort of people tweet me and go, what are you doing that for? You look like an idiot. I know. You don't need to tweet me to tell me that. I always look at the show, and indeed just being on telly, as you hosting a party, and therefore you've got to make sure, you know, metaphorically, everyone's got a drink. You've got to make sure everyone's happy, and that's my job.
But being the perfect host isn't just about entertaining the viewers.
What do you think about those comments? Because, I mean, to be fair, Louis, he does Journey last week. He does something for like that for me is a well-rounded pop star.
Yeah, but you're not a judge, Dermot. I'm the judge. You're not a judge.
Well, to be fair, I think the public are the real judges, aren't they?
A great talent show host is somebody that can answer back and banter with the judges. There's nothing wrong with having a go at your judges every now and again.
When he first joined the show, Dermot had been wary of answering back, but that led to a stern word from his new boss, Simon Cowell.
I was out in America, and he invited me around for lunch. I thought, oh, it's going to be great. So I turned up to the Bond villain house. And he said, listen, I need to speak candidly. And I just thought he was going to go, you're great, you've done a great job, you know, because you know, just got pats on the back so far. And he went, you need to up your game. So I'm just going, I'm getting sacked. In my head, I'm just going, oh my God, I'm getting sacked. And he said, look, I really like you on the show, you need to up your game, give me a harder time.
Surely, to win this competition, Simon and Cheryl, Simon and Cheryl. There's other people in the room as well.
And I said to him, you know, if you're saying that, when I have a go at you, you can't then complain about it. And he didn't. He was brilliant.
Simon, for the final time. Oh, I can be hard when I want to be.
But not every judge welcomes backchat. And in 2003, the on-screen feud between Fame Academy host Patrick Kielty and Judge Richard Park threatened to overshadow the entire series.
Look at him sweating slightly. It's a little bit too hot for you, sir. Richard Park is here, and they are...
My problem with Patrick Kielty was simply that he interrupted all the time to give us his own view.
That ain't good enough.
Okay, hang on.
I don't want to turn this into a pantomime. Do you not get the message?
No, we're not trying to turn into a pantomime, okay? I'm trying to actually...
He saw himself as a musical Colonel Gaddafi, and you were either with him or you were against him.
You see, I don't think the host should be on the contestant's side. I don't think the host should be on any side.
Richard, I think there's a lot of people in here worried about your ears, okay?
Richard wasn't just angry, he was enraged, where you thought, oh dear, if he could get over this little wooden bit that's between them, he's actually going to deck Patrick Kielty live on television.
I'm giving you an honest critique and I'm getting a little tired of your attitude, so just you button it.
Hang on.
It was tedious. It threatened to ruin the show. Ultimately, it might have brought it down.
No,
No,
Richard, in fairness.
Seriously, I've given you a critique.
I know you've given us a critique, okay, but what am I meant to do? Am I meant to stand here while everyone else thinks you're talking rubbish?
I, for a long time, actually thought it was an act. So I thought, you know, this is what he's doing to make good telly.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man is so sycophantic, it's tiring.
Okay, come on, look, no, please. This is not about me and you, this is about this guy, and I think he's damn good, okay? Well played, Paris.
And I kept passing him in the corridor, expecting him to maybe wink or just, aye, haven't we got them going here? And it never happened. And then I realised, no, he actually hates me.
I've met him subsequently, and you can imagine how it went.
Next, we tell the story of how Opportunity Knocks rescued the career of one of the all-time greats.
My career was going downhill faster than a rabbit with a promise.
He decided that this was it. This was his last chance saloon.
Today, the talent show is a global phenomenon.
X Factor.
Shows like Britain's Got Talent, The X Factor and Pop Idol all have their equivalents in dozens of countries across the planet. The talent show's come a long way from the days of music hall and variety.
Britain has always been a country where people fancy their chances with a talent. It is like people queuing up in the old days to perform at the circus or end of the pier or whatever. It goes back that far.
So, it seems Britain's always had talent. The prizes in those days might not have included a £1 million recording contract. More likely a few quid for winning an End of the Pier show. The man who first brought talent contests to our airwaves was Canadian broadcaster Carol Levis. His Discovery show started on radio in the 30s and transferred to television in 1949.
There are hundreds of people, I'm sure, who do something or other in the way of entertainment. People from almost every walk of life who may be the stars of tomorrow.
Carol Levis was a very well-known name. He's Canadian. He had great stage presence and personality, and he used to bring his discoveries on one after the other.
Don't rush me, girl.
I was one of the few people, certainly only one alive today, who originally was a Carol Levis discovery. It was the first step on that slippery ladder of success.
Friends? But for many, the show that started the nation's love affair with the talent show was the one that gave the viewers at home the chance to create their own stars for the very first time.
We auditioned over 10,000 acts this season for your Opportunity Knocks.
Opportunity Knocks was massive. It was the biggest talent show around in its day. It was on every Monday night.
Welcome once again to British television's only variety show where your votes and your votes alone make the winners.
Everybody would gather and watch Op Knocks, and everyone would have an opinion in the family.
Every week, 6 different acts would get 3 minutes to perform their routine, and it was up to the great British public to choose their favourite.
And this is what we want you to do. Put down the name of the act that you want to see come back a week tonight, your address and your name in your own handwriting, and send it, my darlings, if you would be so kind, to Opportunity Knocks.
Can you imagine that now? People voting by post. It was amazing, you know, that they were given that power, really, to create a star.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the Zaporozhian Cossacks from Nottingham, Opportunity Knocks.
Long before Britain's Got Talent, Op Knocks was the show that gave us the weird as well as the wonderful.
Now, our boast on Opportunity Knocks is that we try and bring you variety.
There were comedy contortionists, umpar bands, and whatever it is that he's doing.
The unpredictability about Opportunity Knocks was one of the reasons it kept in the ratings. You could not predict what was going to come on.
Strongman Tony Holland, the musical Muscle Man.
Of all these novelty acts, perhaps the most memorable was a man whose dancing pectorals earned him the viewer's vote 5 weeks running.
I remember my mum laughing so hard when the Muscle Man did that doop, 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 and his muscles moved at the same. My mum, literally, we had to change cushions. It was very, very funny.
Yes,